Hey, it's Mila. Welcome back to my channel.
I go around and I go around and I go around, I go around. I'm always out, I am always out, I am always out, I'm always out. I keep running so I don't have to go.
Welcome back to another episode of my Post Grad Diaries. So if you're new here, this is a little series that I do where I just like talk about like things that have been on my mind. I graduated back in May. No, I mean, my last final was in April. I graduated back in June, but like pretty recently, right? So my whole idea behind the series was to like, navigate life together, because I just graduated. Like most of my friends graduated like 2 years ago, 1 year ago, same year as me, or like next year, right? We're all in this like same phase where everything's changing. We're like discovering ourselves, discovering how to just like live a life outside of like a very structured environment. So I thought, you know what, let's like take you guys along this journey with me. Every single month we're going to go over a different topic. I have a couple of ideas planned. There might be 1 to 2 episodes a month, I do not know, but I'm really thinking like one episode. Sorry, something sounded like it was gonna fall, so I got like really anxious. But yeah, so every episode we tackle a different subject that I've been thinking about, or I've been dealing with, or I think like, it's important to talk about post grad when you're like fixing your life in your like late early to mid 20s and just like building things, I guess. So before we get into anything, my name is Mila. I make everything from bookish type content, lifestyle. We have these little post grad diaries, and I'm kind of dabbling into some like tier rankings for like songs, for reality TV. It's a little bit of everything over here. So if that sounds fun, definitely hit the subscribe button down below so you're notified every time that I post. And let's get like right into it. So just to give you a recap of last month's episode. Last episode, episode 3, was about solo travel. I was like, I'm done waiting around for people to live my life. Let me just solo travel. And that kind of like goes along with the whole idea for this video. Like for that one, it was like, I'm done waiting for people, so I'm gonna do these like big massive experiences alone, like solo travel. That's more for like friends, I guess. But then like, why would you wait around for a partner to like treat yourself, to take yourself out on dates? It was the same idea, and I was like, I want to make this whole other episode about like solo dates, because it's truly when I started taking myself out on solo dates and being comfortable being alone, that is when, I don't want to jinx it, this is like very new, very fresh. I don't know what is going to happen, but I'm going to talk about this in like a whole other episode. I'm not someone who went around and dated a lot. Like it just like wasn't for me. I had just like accepted that I'm going to be alone, just do things by yourself. And then I solo travel. I started taking myself out on like weekly solo dates. I'm kind of getting a bit too ahead of myself, but the first time I truly felt comfortable, not in a sense that I'm lying to myself and subconsciously I'm like not comfortable, when I truly got comfortable being alone, that is when I manifested something that I wanted. That might change, but the headspace that I was in, I brought into my life what I wanted at that moment. So that is, again, that's like the final point, but that's my little like spiel on where this came from and how it actually like made me feel secure, So yeah, I was just so done with waiting to be alone. I kind of talked about this last episode, but I'm going to talk about it today also. I had this friend who I was super close with. If you know anything about Greek life, she was my little in my sorority. So basically that's like a little sister. You guys are super close, and you like guide them through their experience in the sorority. And we just stopped talking. It wasn't me, it was on her end. I tried reaching out, and it honestly really did break my heart when she was unresponsive, because I was like, obviously I knew that like leaving school I was gonna lose friends, but I never thought that it would be you, right? And then that kind of took me on this like whole huge massive spiral. And then I was like, I can't rely on anyone, even friends are gonna leave you. Like I went a little bit toxic, to be perfectly honest, but I was like, like no one's gonna stay with you, and it got a bit more like toxic than that. But then I also like connected that to just like, I guess, my lack of like dating experience, and just like, I saw it in everyone. I was like, basically all my friends have been in like long-term relationships, and just like see their experience, I'm like, I'm happy for them, I love that for them. I don't know what it was, I just accepted like that's not gonna be me. Just like be okay doing things alone, because looking at things realistically, you're gonna be alone. It's not in a like, oh, the world sucks and stuff like that, not in like a I mean, maybe there was a bit of like pessimism in there, but it was mainly from a like realistic point of view. It was like, don't make plans around this thing potentially happening, because it hasn't happened so far. Be realistic, it's not gonna happen. Just like plan as if this is never gonna happen. Again, not to be like, oh my god, everything sucks, like I'm not worthy of love or like whatever. It's like, no, you know, like take care of like this like need of mine to just like go on dates and like have fun and like treat myself. If someone isn't gonna do that for me, I'm gonna do it for myself because I deserve it, you know? And why would I wait around for someone to make me feel special when I can make myself feel special? So the first little topic, I guess, that I want to talk about today is why it's so hard doing things alone. Like, I just want to preface, being alone versus being lonely are two completely different things. And we tend to kind of like confuse them or just like mix them together. And it's like, no, being alone is like being comfortable. You know, there's no discomfort, there's no sense of like feeling weird. You're like fully yourself existing and you're fine. You're not missing out on anything. You're just okay experiencing things by yourself. Being lonely is more, okay, you know, I'm in like a crowded room and I'm surrounded by people. I feel like a hole inside. And I'm just saying that like, that's not like me saying that, oh my god, if you're alone, no, my bad, if you're lonely, that's like a super bad thing, like blah blah blah. No, it's like I've been there, you know. I felt like empty in a room surrounded by people and it sucks. You know, it sucks. I feel like when we talk about, you know, doing things by yourself, we think of loneliness, we think of like no one wants you, like you're not deserving of anything. It's a rejection. You're socially conditioned to, what's the word, to like associate being by yourself to being lonely, where that is not true. That's absolutely not true. I mean, humans, we are social beings. Like, we need each other, we rely on each other for things. Like, very rarely you can get throughout a day without like talking to someone, because it's just not how humans are. That the fact that if you are alone, like you're doing things by yourself, the brain, like not other people's brain, your brain automatically thinks, okay, I'm being rejected by everyone, where it's like, no, please do not go there, because I don't want to get too much into it, but I did go through a little like depressive phase when I was how old was I think like 18, 19, because I was just going through a tough time. It was a very like situational thing where it was like, I feel like I'm being pushed aside. It's making me feel like shit and I'm lonely. I'm surrounded by people constantly, but I don't feel valued. I don't feel alone. When I got out of that, I kind of associated that feeling of like not going out with people, not talking to people with a bad thing. But then as I got older, as I matured, and as I honestly, yeah, I mean, I was fine doing like little things alone, but it was really like this summer when I just said, be realistic, plan for being by yourself. You haven't had that much like romantic attraction in the past. You guys are finishing university. Your friends are planning to go to different countries. You're gonna be by yourself. Be okay with that. That's when I really realized that you are programmed to think of like someone by themselves with being like a loner, the exclusive, things like that. When no, like these are actually, I think, some of the most confident people, because like they know that it means that they're not rejected. They're not in their head, because the constant thing in your head is like, is everyone staring at me? Do people think that I'm lonely? Do people think like no one loves me? And it's like, no one thinks that. Literally no one thinks that. And this vicious inner monologue is what is making it so hard for people to just do what they want to do, you know? So when that kind of clicked in my head, I was like, you know what? I'm done thinking of this in like a toxic way. Like, I go out all the time. I see like older people alone. They seem fine, you know, like they do their work. I'm sure you've seen these like, oh my god, there's like some construction going on outside. You see these like older men just go out, grab a coffee and just like people watch. And I'm like, I would love to be able to do that, you know? Doing things alone always feels hard because you're basically programmed to not want to do it or to think negatively of it. And when I had a little switch in my head, I was like, you know what? No, like let me rewrite this like toxic like correlation between the two, and let me just like do things for myself, not because I don't have anyone else to do it with, and not because I'm lonely, but because I deserve to be treated. Okay, I've literally waited for 5 minutes and these people are still doing whatever they're doing outside, so I'm just really gonna pray that you guys cannot hear it. Like, I'm monitoring my mic and I don't think that you guys can hear it, but I'm also like so scared, and like literally it's just non-stop. And it's like at some point it's like, okay, it sounds like the machine is gonna shut off, but oh no, it doesn't shut off. It like goes back up. Anyways, continuing on to the next point of this video, I want to talk about my first solo date, and I guess all the logistics, what I was thinking, and maybe some like insecurities also that I had in my head when I was like, you know, going about my, oh my god, did they stop? Never mind, they did not stop. They just went to a whole other machine. But yes, let's talk about my first solo date. So I wanted something that was like super easy, super low pressure, that kind of like challenged myself, kind of put me out of my comfort zone, but that also wasn't like, oh my god, it's like too crazy. It's not like something that I've never done before. So I was like, you know what? I really want to go watch a movie alone, right? I was like, I don't think I'm ready to go for like an actual dinner alone, but I want to go watch a movie alone, because that for me is like a big thing, because I've never done it. I always go with friends. Like, I don't see people watching movies alone. Yeah, oh my god, it stopped. We love. I normally go to movies in the evening, and that kind of felt like way too daunting. So I was like, you know what? Let's not start off like immediately with like a 7 p.m. movie. Let's go for maybe a little like afternoon movie to kind of like ease yourself into it. So I left my house, I was like, I just want to go about my day like alone, not have a plan in mind, just like take my little like train thing into the city and then go from there, right? So I put on a little outfit that I liked. Like, yes, I could have gone with like a more lazy thing because I was going to the movies, but I was like, no, like dress up as if you're going out with your friends, going out on a date. I just wore like my blue, no, not my blue, my like green colorful trousers, a little white t-shirt, cute little shoes, cute little bag, did my makeup like literally as if I was going out with a friend, because I was like, I'm treating myself today. This is like my little date. I'm gonna dress up as if I was like going out with someone. So I just left my house, took my train, I brought my book, I read my book. I had so much fun. Like, I was vibing. I went to this little like, how do I explain it? It's just like a healthy smoothie place. Like, it's basically the Air one, but like in my city. It's like the same vibe, those like smoothies and stuff like that, but like reasonably priced. So I just went over there, sat on their terrace, had my little smoothie bowl for breakfast. I was not on my phone. I was really like, I want to fully like just experience living. So I didn't take my phone out. Like, I had my music in my ears, but I was just people watching. I was like truly embracing my inner like old like grandpa who just like goes to places alone and just like not reads his newspaper because like I wasn't gonna read, but just like just experience, just like vibe. Right after that, I took a little walk into, how do I explain it, like in my city we have this little, I mean, if you've been to Montreal, like the old port and like old Montreal is very like European style building. So I just, I wanted to get my 10k steps in, right? So I just went around over there, got a little coffee, I started walking around. I didn't have a place in mind. I was just like wondering, admiring the architecture, and just like, again, being present. I didn't really have a plan, because how like sometimes when you go out on a date or go out with friends, you just walk around. There's like no plan in mind. You just like walk and you see where the walk takes you. And I just like started walking, and then I was like, oh, like let's walk by the water. So I started walking by the water, and I found this bench in the shade, and the weather was nice. I was like, let's just read. So I pulled out my book, I just started reading by myself, and I was vibing. It blew my mind, because I was like, why have I never done this before? It's so relaxing, it's so peaceful, I love it, yet I've never done this before. Like, how? Then I was like, I want to go shopping. Like, I don't have anything particular in mind, but like, how sometimes with your friends you just like go to the stores, go window shopping. I was like, let's do that. So I walked all the way back to the more like shopping district, I guess, in my city, went to Sephora, picked up something, went window shopping at Aritzia, and then I was like, you know what, movie lines up with, I guess, like the time that it is now, let's go watch a movie. And I think that the big turning point for me was going to the movie, because I like, obviously that was my like solo day thing, my like big out of your comfort zone thing, but having done like all that little trajectory before, which is something that I could have very well done, like I wouldn't have just gone on a walk like randomly like by myself in downtown, but it's like small little things that I haven't done before, and I was like, we combine it all, it creates this like solo day, because like you would go like get food, grab a coffee, and go walk around, sit by the water. Like, I've done that with so many of my friends, and just doing it alone, I was like, okay, this is my like start to my solo date. That when I ended up getting to the movie theater, I felt weird. I was so in my head, I was like, people are gonna stare, people are gonna think it's weird, but I also felt a sense of like comfort, because I already did so much alone before. So yeah, like I did have that little moment of like hesitation, of anxiousness when I got to the little like I guess booth things where you buy your ticket. I bought one ticket, and then I gave it to the person, and she was like, oh, it's room this, like over here, whatever. And that was my big thing. It's like giving it to that person, having that person know that I'm going alone. I'm like, it's crazy, because I didn't realize how uncomfortable I was, not because like everyone would know that I'm going alone, because this one person would know that I'm going alone. I'm like, why am I giving this one person so much power, this stranger so much power? I'm like, it makes absolutely no sense. So after I did that, I just felt good. Like that was my turning point. I just felt good. I walked into the movie theater and I saw some other people alone. Like there was no one really like my age or just like I guess like later teens, early 20s. There was no one really that age. It was more older people. Honestly, I did have my little moments where I was like, oh, this feels weird. People are like probably staring. People are thinking like, oh, why is she alone? She's like young, she has friends and like whatever. But then I was like, well, no, like why does age like why when you're young you're like, oh, okay, you can't do anything alone, but like as you get older you can. I'm like, no, that's actually so dumb. Like I truly think more people who are my age or younger should be comfortable being alone, because I've had conversations with friends where it's like, we get into these like toxic like friendship patterns, toxic like relationship patterns because we're not comfortable being alone. That kind of like flips my mentality. I was like, me being the youngest person here at this time of day, I think that is so empowering. Like I feel so much more confident. I feel so much greater about myself because I'm doing this, and then the average age of the person here is like probably like 45, 50. So that was my little, like moment of pride. I was like, no, I'm good. Like I'm so proud of myself. I love it. And I watched, what movie did I watch? I watched the Thunderbolts movie and I loved it. I loved it so much. And yeah, sure, I would have liked it as much as if I was with a friend, but I'm someone who always talks during movies. Like I always make comments, and yeah, I guess it was kind of hard like not having a friend next to me to like make a comment to, but then also like got me much more invested. Like obviously, like regardless of who I went with, I would have liked the Thunderbolts movie, but I was so locked in. And I've never been so locked in a movie theater, because even if I tried to be locked in, someone else is gonna talk to you or passing around food, and like you're gonna get like you're not gonna be as focused, right? But there's just something about being so locked into the movie, and it's so different than watching a movie in your room. Like it's a big screen, the like speakers, and I was just like, I am so proud of myself. I was so happy I did this. I feel like I experienced watching a movie in the cinema for the first time, if that makes sense. So how did the concept of solo dates change my mindset? It ended my codependency on other people. And I think that when we think of like codependency, it's all like, okay, with like a partner, you guys are like tied to the hip, you can't do anything alone. But we never really see it with like you with like your friendships. It's like, oh, I cannot like leave the house, I cannot do this because I'm alone. Like people are gonna think I'm weird, people are gonna stare. And it's like, that is another form of codependency. The same way we say that this is so bad in a relationship, you should be able to do things without your partner, you should be able to do things without your friends, without your family. And no one really, I guess, like emphasizes that sort of codependency when it comes to like non-romantic relationships. And just like realizing that, I was like, oh wow, like even people who are very like, I guess like independent in the sense that they're not like reliant on a partner, they're not necessarily like that with their friends. And that's a realization that I made. And I was like, I was very codependent on my friends. Like if I didn't have someone to go do things with, I would not leave the house. And I was like, why am I stopping myself from all these experiences, from things that I truly want to do, just because no one is free? I had to go take care of a little something, so I kind of lost my train of thought, but I think it was like talking about codependency and how we don't really see it with like non-romantic relationships. So yeah, it was all that like, I'm so codependent on other people. Let's heal from these like toxic patterns, because I'm going to talk about it more in my episode on friendships. I had a very bad experience with one of my high school best friends, and through that I can see how that whole experience and how it ended and how it made me feel about myself made me carry certain, I wouldn't say toxic traits, but certain, I guess, like insecurities to other people that, I mean, I'm a fearful avoidant. So there's the very like, you either get anxious or you get like avoidant. And I'm so like anxiously attached to you. And then if I feel you kind of drifting apart, I'm like, completely pull away, right? I did have codependency with some friendships. Like I've healed from it, and I recognize at times where I'm like, okay, you're kind of taking this a bit too personally, and just like actually truly like process, okay, does this person have like, am I actually like, is this like a good way of thinking of things? Is this actually what's going on, or are you completely like spiraling in your head? And being able to drift away from this codependency just brought me freedom and empowerment, because I was like, I can do things alone, and you're no longer craving a certain certain amount of validation. Like you're no longer doing things just to, how do I explain it? Like I feel like now people have gotten like a little bit better, like people in my circle, but I feel like some people still do things just to post about it or to have pictures. Basically that's like you're doing it for validation from like strangers or from like your followers, and you're no longer craving that validation because you're just doing things that you want to do. You're just being present. There's no pressure to perform. You're just doing you, doing what you want to do. You want to change your plans, you change your plans. And I said this during solo traveling. There's so much freedom, there's so much empowerment. Just not having anyone around brings so much attention to what you're currently doing, where you are. Oh my god, they started using the machines again. I'm actually gonna go crazy. It brings so much just presence to what you're doing. And this is gonna sound so cheesy. You experience things differently because you're no longer doing things and focusing your energy on another person. You're doing things and focusing your energy on that one thing. That's like the little moments of like gratitude, you know? Like if you have a gratitude journal, you like start filling it up, and at first it's very like, I guess like big things, but then the more you start doing it, the more you have to look. And it's like just being present and like living your life. You're like, all these tiny little things I take for granted every single day, and then when you realize them, it opens your eyes to how much you have to be grateful for, and then you see the world differently. I feel like that's what I kind of got to with this. I have a little list of solo date ideas for you that I just want to like run through. I kind of divided them into a few different categories. So we have one that's more like comfort, softness, cozy. We have a little confidence boost section and a little romantic one. So let's just like run through these ideas. So for comfort and softness, we have a little cafe bakery dates. You know, like you just go grab yourself a little treat, bring a journal, bring a book, or just like listen to a podcast, you know? You don't have to have someone to talk to go experience like a new cafe. My biggest tip is just like don't bring your laptop, you know? Don't be on your phone, don't bring your laptop. Bring something physical, bring like a sketchbook, one of those like little word search Sudoku books. Bring something to do that is not digital, because it brings you in the moment as if you're with another person, if that makes sense. You know, like go to a cafe, go to a little bakery. It's so much low pressure than going to like grab an actual meal by yourself, because I feel like, you know, we're used to seeing more people in like coffee shops and bakeries alone, but like not in like actual restaurants. So that's a, you know, small easy way to kind of like get a little bit out of your comfort zone, but like not too much that you're like, oh my god, this is like super crazy. The next idea I have is to just explore a new neighborhood, explore a new area. I don't know, literally go to TikTok, find a cute neighborhood, a cute area, find maybe I'd say like one place that you want to go, and then go on a little like walk around the neighborhood. And like, you know, if you're not feeling it, just go walk around somewhere else. There's no pressure. Like you don't necessarily have to have like a final destination or somewhere to go to. I'm more type A, so I like to have like, you know, I want to do at least this thing, and then everything else like we can figure it out on the way. Just doing that, it's like I feel like it's so much easier to do maybe than a coffee shop, because if you're like really like in your head and like you feel weird being alone, you can always put on this persona that you're like going to meet someone, you know, like you're in a new area, you're going to meet someone. You can kind of, I guess, like hide the fact that you're alone in that sense. Whereas like a coffee shop, like if you're sitting at a table alone, like people know that you're here by yourself. But yeah, that's a very like low-key easy way to do things. And when I started like talking about like soul date ideas to my friends, they were like, you know, those little things, like, oh my god, there's this cat that's like screaming. I'm like kind of concerned. I mean, I hope it's okay. But yeah, you know, it's like these things like you do every day when you're going to school, when you're going to work, when you're walking anywhere. So just like taking this part of your daily routine and like planting it in another like neighborhood that you can like discover. I think it's like the easiest soul date idea to kind of like, you know, get into it. And another one, just like drive around with music with like no goal in mind. Like, you know how with your friends you just go on like little late night drives and you talk and you just like listen to music and you sing. Do that alone. Like no one drives anymore just to drive. I feel like that's something we used to do when we were like 16, 17, 19. We just got our license, and now like we don't do it. I mean, yeah, sure, you can have your little like dance party in your room, but I feel like being in your car and just like listening to music and just like singing, or just like, you know, like doing like acting as if you're like with someone in the car, I find that so fun, and it's also so therapeutic at the same time. So you see these little like comfort and softness like section, it's very easy things to do to like dip your foot into it. Like it's very easy to kind of like put up a front that you're like not by yourself if you get a little like self-conscious, but it's also such like basic simple things that even doing this once a week, it makes you feel so much comfortable being alone, and then you can slowly like escalate I guess, upgrade to like maybe a bit more like daunting idea. So the next little section, we have confidence boost. So if you're comfortable like going to little cafes alone, maybe try dressing up and going to a fancy dinner. Like it doesn't have to be a super like classy 5-star restaurant, but putting on a nice outfit and like just going, doing your makeup, putting on a nice pair of heels, putting a nice outfit on, and just going to grab a dinner. I am currently working up to the idea of going to dinner alone. I mean, I almost tried it, but then like someone texted me being like, oh hey, do you want to do this? And it was like a big plan, so I kind of like canceled my little solo date, but I was ready to go do it alone. And that like really showed me how much progress I made since I started like taking myself out maybe like 2 months ago. Yeah, 2 months ago. At first I was like, the idea of going to a restaurant alone and dressing up there's a hair in my mic, seems crazy to me. But now I was like, you know what? I'm actually excited to do it alone. And I was like, do I say no to these plans with my friends so I can like actually do this alone? Because I'm really excited to do it. But then it was like a big group thing. So I was like, you know what? I do want to see people. I do want to like do these things. So it's fine. I can move it to next week. Kind of going with the same idea as this. We have go to an event alone. This can be anything. Maybe the easiest thing for you to like do this big thing alone is going to a networking event, because like people have to talk there, so I guess it's like less daunting. Or in terms of events, go to like, I don't know, like somewhere that you like going to is hosting something, go there alone, talk to people. I know this one can be very, very daunting, so that's why it's in like the little confidence boost one, because I feel like, it also depends on the person. But try going to an event alone, or like, let's say, I don't know, like sometimes these little like spas, restaurants, bars like host these little like paid nights in my city. I was like unsure if I wanted to go to one or not, but I feel like I really want to go to one. That next time that I see an ad for it, if no one wants to go, I'm gonna go alone, and I'm gonna be perfectly fine. There's these like times where in my city we do these like cat yoga events, or these like puppy yoga events. Like that's something that's so easy to go do alone, because it's so easy to talk to someone. If you see someone petting a cute cat or a cute dog, I mean, if you're allergic, it's probably not the best idea, but if you like animals and you see like, someone who looks like really cool petting a super cute cat, a super cute dog, you can like start talking with them, and who knows, you guys might click, and it's like you're connecting over this like little fluffy cute animal. Like there's no pressure to actually start like an actual conversation, because you can like be like, oh my god, this cat is so cute, and like, go from there, right? The easy thing with like go to an event is like it can be something super big and super daunting, or you can like scale it back, try to figure out a way to make it like super easy to talk to people. Because yes, I do recognize like starting a conversation with people is kind of very daunting. Like I've never started a conversation with a bartender alone, but if I'm with a friend, like I have no problem like starting this random conversation with this like random stranger. Even if my friend isn't the one who's initiating the conversation, like just having that person there gives me this like reassurance, this like validation that like, oh no, it's fine. Like even if they turn away and they don't want to talk to me anymore, if they think I'm like weird, I'm still here with someone else. So I'm kind of like working towards that. But if you're also in the same like little bubble as me, or you're not as like comfortable starting conversations with strangers, I think this can be something super fun, because there's always something that you can use to like start a little conversation. And then I guess the easiest thing in this category is to just take a class, take a pottery class, a dance class, any art class. Like I have a friend who was like really finding it hard trying to branch out, and then she started taking these pottery classes. I think that she's like watching this video, because I know she watches like all my videos, and she was actually the one who gave me this idea, like going to these little classes for a passion of yours. Because kind of like the thing with the event, if it's a passion of yours, there's always something you can use to start a conversation. Like yes, some people are going to be more like focused in their work, but you're going to find other people there who are going to be like there to like make friends, to meet people, and again, you have something to talk about. So there's always an easier way to start a conversation with someone who like catches your eye, whether they're attractive or it's like they seem cool and you want to be friends with them. There's always a little conversation starter. So taking class could be super, super fun. And then I have maybe a more like romantic section, which this is like typical days that you would think about. So the easiest thing here, go watch the sunset. Like, make yourself a little picnic. Like you don't have to wait for someone else to like make a picnic and go watch the sunset. I'm actually gonna do that tonight. Like it's something that I had planned. I'm gonna make myself a little bit of food, grab my book, put on a cute outfit, and just like go drive to a park, have my little dinner, and go watch the sunset. Yeah, it's a more like date and like, friendship date, like date idea, but like who's to say you can't do it alone? Like there's no one around you, like no one's gonna judge you you. If you're scared of just like going there and being alone, think back. How many times have you passed by a park and you saw someone reading alone? Probably more often than you realize. You know, just like you're in your bubble. Like you don't even have to be aware of the outside world because you're in your book, you're in your bubble. If you don't like reading, get like a little, I don't know, a hobby of yours, like bring some paints, like do a little sketch, crochet if that's what you're into, like bring an activity so you completely like tone out the outside world and you're in your head, you're in your bubble, but you're also like exposing yourself to like doing things alone that, yeah, even though you're not, I guess, like interacting with the outside world, you're putting yourself in a place where it's so much easier to open to that. Yes, honestly, a sunset watch is super easy. Also, like my little soul date idea, go watch a movie alone. Like I'm not saying you have to go at like 7 where like everyone goes with their friends, but go for a little like, you know, 1:30 movie, 4 o'clock movie, and then, you know, if you're comfortable there, go to 7. But it's like you don't have to go to a movie at 7 just because like that is a daytime movie. Like no, you know, taking yourself at like a 12:30 movie or a 1:30 movie, that's still like a little solo date. I think that it's honestly easier going at that time. It's more older people, it's like not people your age. So if you still have a little like fear in your head that you're going to be judged, people are going to look at you weirdly, try that, and then, you know, slowly get to the later times. And the last thing I have here is a little art gallery or museum stroll. I think this idea can be so cute because you can really romanticize it, you know, like picture yourself in this like old movie and like you're just like the star, like balloting around, like looking at art. You're just like so mysterious and everyone wants to like get to know you. People are like, oh my god, who is she? Kind of create a little scenario in your head because like it's so fun. If you're kind of getting in your head and being like, okay, people are watching, people are gonna think I'm weird, I'm alone, make yourself as like a character in a movie and it becomes so much fun. So yeah, those are my little solo date ideas. And I also want to quick talk about how I romanticize my solo dates to kind of like, you know, wrap everything around. How I do it is that I get ready for it as if I was going on like an actual date, as if I was going like out with my friends. It's never gonna feel like you're going out on a date because you're not gonna have these like butterflies of like nervous. I mean, I feel like if you're doing something big and daunting, like you might have those butterflies because you're just like nervous that like people are gonna like stare at stuff like that. In that sense, I guess it could feel like you're getting ready for an actual date. But if it's more of like something alone where like, you know, people aren't really gonna like pay attention, still get ready as if you're going out on a date, you know, like cute outfit, like get yourself ready, do your hair, do your makeup, put on an outfit that makes you feel good. So you automatically like you put yourself in a headspace that this is going to be a fun night. I'm going to have so much fun. The same way you do when you go out with your friends. If you look good, you feel good. If you're confident in your appearance, if you walk with that little like, you know, spark of like excitement in your step, you are going to put that out to the world. And even if someone is like, oh, this person is alone, it's not going to be like, oh, it's because they're weird. It's like, no, they're giving off this energy that they're confident, and I admire that in them. So any little, I guess, like, what do we call it, like pre-date ritual that you have, do it here. Because why are you saving all these little things for like someone special? No, like you are someone who is special. Do it for yourself. Like if before you go for a date, you like, I don't know, use a certain like perfume or you use a certain like shower gel because it smells, use that for yourself. Because like, yeah, sure, we do this to impress other people, but if we truly like these things that we're using and it makes you happy, do it for yourself. Like don't save these things for like special people. Like think of it this way, you know how like parents are always like, oh, these are like the fancy things that we don't use, we don't touch unless we have guests in the house. Why? Like if we have it, if these things bring you joy, if you truly think that they're beautiful, bring it in your everyday life. Like, and that doesn't diminish the value of it. That's not what I'm saying. It doesn't make them less special. It just makes, how do I say it? Like it doesn't make the item itself less special. Like you do not bring down the value of the item because you're using it in a very like everyday mundane setting. You actually like raise the value in yourself because you're like, I'm using these special things that I reserve for other people for myself because I am special. I hope that makes sense. That's what I started doing, and it just, after a while, it really did boost my confidence. I honestly cannot explain like what clicks in my head, but I just woke up one day and I was like, it's gonna sound so cheesy, but everything changed. Everything truly did change. And also another super easy way that I try to romanticize these is just like buying myself flowers. Like I love flowers. I've always loved like getting them, but there's gnarly people in my life who get them for me. So I was like, why am I gonna wait around for someone to get me flowers? Why am I gonna beg someone to get me flowers when I could just buy them for myself? I feel like it's the same thing, you know, like flowers are something that's like special, that it's like they're reserved for like special events, or it's like special people can buy me flowers. And like I'm not gonna buy flowers for myself because like that's sad. No, like if you like flowers, if you truly like having flowers around, buy yourself the damn flowers. Think of like Tam Kerr's book, buy yourself the damn flowers. I've had people like ask me, oh, like who gave them to you? Is it a guy? Is it a friend? And I'm like, no, I bought them for myself. And they're like, oh, really? And I'm like, well, yeah, like I love them. I'm gonna do it for myself. Same thing with like, if you don't want to buy yourself flowers because it's maybe like a little pricey, because like fair, I get it, flowers are expensive. Do a little treat. Get yourself a little treat, like something that your date would get you. Like a few chocolates, a little, just like something a little bit special that you don't have every single day. Like I'm not saying if it's like something like sugary and sweet, like have it every day, because that's like obviously not good for your health. But take yourself out for these little treats as if you were with someone, and like don't wait for some like special person to buy you flowers, to bring you all these cute little things when like you can do them for yourself. And I guess the last thing is like cute little pictures, right? Like I feel like we only take pictures when we're out like with people because like we don't want to take solo pictures. But if you are wearing a cute outfit, take a picture and post it. If there's something like super cute and it's like obvious in this picture that you're alone, still take the picture, still post it. Like why are you not posting? Like if you're someone who likes posting about your life, like to truly post about your life, why are you only posting when there's other people around? Who cares if people can see that like, oh, there's like one bottle here, or there's like one plate, or like, oh, she has a book, that means she's not with anyone. No, like if you want flowers, buy yourself flowers. If you want a little treat, buy yourself a little treat. If you want to take a picture because it's a super cute moment, take the damn picture. And like who cares if people can tell that you're alone? If it makes you happy, just do it. So just to kind of like wrap this video up, I'm not saying that like starting to take yourself out on solo dates is gonna like instantly get rid of like all the insecurities that you have on like being alone, or just like problems with your friendships. Like it's not gonna get rid of it, but it changes everything, because it changes your mindset. Again, you stop being codependent. You stop like craving this validation from other people, because you can validate yourself. You have your freedom. You're able to empower yourself. You can truly experience life in the present moment and not have to think about, oh, does someone else actually want to do this? Am I like dragging them along? Am I forcing them here? Or it's like, do they want to leave? Do they want to go do something else? And I feel pressure to like leave, even though I love being in this moment right now, just because of another person. It really brings you back to the present and just like discovering yourself, truly learning what you like, what you enjoy, how you like spending your free time, because we don't have that much free time, right? And it's like, how are you going to learn what you truly like doing, what's important for you, if you always spend your time with other people, right? So I hope that from this video you can kind of like learn that you don't need to wait around for other people to do what you want to do. Use this as a reminder to start enjoying your own company, because once again, how are you going to learn about yourself if you are never alone? And how are you going to like show someone what you want? Like let's say you're someone who likes these special things, and like your partner, maybe that's not what they're into. Like how are you gonna communicate to them what kind of dates you like, what activities you like doing, when you don't even know for yourself, because you don't do anything if you don't have someone to do it with? Like I really hope that I wasn't being like kind of harsh. I don't think I was being harsh. I feel like I was being like very realistic, and I really hope that from this you can get the message that like stop waiting around for other people, do what you want to do, be present, and there's no need to be scared for being alone, because I'm sure so many people are looking at you and admiring that you can do things alone, because it's something that they know that they're never going to be comfortable to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, oh my god, how do I turn my iPad off? If you did, definitely hit the subscribe button down below and leave a thumbs up so I know that you like these little Post Grad Diary episodes. If you have any ideas on things that you want me to talk about, definitely let me know down below. I think next episode is going to be, I don't know, because I have a few ideas. I mean, when I started doing this little like series and I planned out my ideas, it started with only I think like 5-6 episodes, but then I really sat down and I started thinking more, and I had like more episodes in mind. So I think next episode it's going to be, I think it's living at home like in your 20s. I remember I was going through my like YouTube homepage and I saw someone talking about it, but it was more reacting to like TikToks that it was talking about it, and I've never seen anyone else talk about it. And I was like, you know what, I think that can be something so like interesting to talk about, because there's the pressure to move out and like really start your life, but that is not the reality for a lot of people also. Or it's like, they have to pick between doing that and like being financially in like trouble, or like staying at home saving money, but then it wrecks their mental health. I'm not gonna talk about it now, but seeing that, I was like, that is I think what I want to tackle next. So if you're excited for that episode, definitely hit the subscribe button, because it's coming out in a month. I really think that I'm gonna like space these out a month apart, because I just sat down and I had so many ideas for YouTube. Like I'm planning to post much more often. I'm not gonna be telling you guys my little like spacing and planning idea, because if I do not stick to it, I don't want people to know what it was. But I just had so many ideas that I was like, you know, I want to space these out like maybe once to twice. Oh my god, I have a pimple on my leg. I want to space these out like 1 to 2 per month, so I really like have the time to tackle everything that I want to do, because I had my little YouTube spark back, right? I'm so excited. I'm pre-filming. I'm just like I'm working hard. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So once again, I hope you guys really enjoyed today's video. All my socials are linked down below if you want to go check me out. My TikTok, Instagram, and Goodreads. Everything in the description bar down below. If you ever want to talk, the comment sections are wide open. I'm going to answer to everything. Or if you want to talk about something maybe a bit more private, don't hesitate to reach out on my Instagram. Now, I hope that through this little journey, like in my post-grad diaries, I can like help you guys out, teach you guys a few things, just make your life maybe a slight bit easier, I guess. So stay safe, protect your vibe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.